Firstly, I just want to welcome this presentation. Chair, I feel like I'm in Germany, to be surrounded by so many PhDs. It's not something that happens every day. So I really think we're very fortunate as a country. And I think for me to try and challenge you here on molecules and all kinds of things, it would be a futile exercise. So I'll bring you from the blue sky to the ground. Thank you. Chairperson, I just wanted to check, in terms of this presentation, it's a very powerful presentation that we received this morning. Have you ever made this presentation? But I've seen the list of people that you've spoken to, that you've listed here. Just wanted to check whether, are you planning to also address cabinet on this thing? In particular, also the Minister of this portfolio here, Minister of Minerals and Petroleum Resources. Because sometimes I get the sense that scientists tend to be quite excited with science all by themselves, but then the transition into where it must impact, sometimes there's always a gap there and all that, because I don't understand, with such beautiful information that is here, why did we even have a discussion in this town, in this country, about mothballing plants? Why did that even arise? Where were you when that discussion was at play? So I'm hoping that you are planning to go and address cabinet. But also, Chair, I just must say that I think with what I've heard here today, what the country lacks is political direction. We've got the technical competences sitting right here. We've got all these plans, we've got everything. We seem to be lacking political direction. So I wanted to just check, of these billions that Mr. Ramaphosa received overseas to transition us from coal into these renewable energies, how much did CSIR get of those billions? There were lots of billions that reportedly got, whether it's IMF, whether it's African Development Bank, whether it's whatever. But the billions that he got from these loans and grants and stuff to transition us from coal, how much did CSIR get out of that? And then when you talk about you want to assist commercialization, industrialization, and all of that, I just wanted to get an example of where have you done this, and so on. Where is this industrialization? Because this country is losing jobs like you can't believe. Every day we're losing jobs. The only increase in anything in this country is an increase in unemployment. There we are on an upward trajectory, but on a wrong issue. So where is this impact of this industrial? Where is this happening, this industrialization? And then when you talk about beneficiation, I just wanted to understand, of the tonnage of all the ore bodies that we export, what percentage are you beneficiating and all that? And then on the issue of the black representation in CSIR, you just mentioned the word black. Now, I'm interested in the granularity of that. How much of that is African, and so on and so on. I'm colored, I'm Indian. I'm very interested in this black. You've globalized it into 70-odd%. Africans by themselves are just 80%, just Africans. So when you say black and you say 70 and you pat yourself on the back and you say you are almost matching the demographics, I'm not so sure. So I'm interested in just the granularity of that. And then you talk about a lot of technology in the deep levels and all of that. Now, the mineral dispensation of South Africa is an interesting one. I mean, the gold deposits in the main in Western deep levels and so on are the deepest. And they're actually, that is the commodity that is almost near sunset. But I see you, I don't know if my reading is incorrect, I'm picking up a disproportionate amount of investment in deep level mining, yet the new, or rather the other minerals, call it manganese for instance, was almost like grassroots. Things like, even platinum, the furthest is like 2,000 meters. Gold can go to 4,000. So a lot of new minerals, manganese, magnetite, all of those minerals, chromite, they are open pit and so on. I'm not hearing a proportionate amount of investment into those minerals, and yet this is where like platinum were like within probably in the top 5 in the world on platinum. I'm not hearing investment around the what I call future ore bodies, which are not deep, but you seem to be fascinated by deep level and all of that. And in my view, the deep levels are almost dried out, as it were. So that one.
Can I try and help you, Honorable Manyi?
Yes, please.
You are on your 7th minute. And I want to apologize that I did not explain how, when you were gone, we agreed on how we question. So you'll be left with 3 minutes to give to them to respond. And if they are not responding at that time you are giving them, because it's your time, I stop them.
No, it's okay. They can respond in writing, but I'll put the
Okay.
questions. I have no
Proceed.
issues.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm interested in substantive answers, not a ping pong. So if you can then respond in writing, I'm quite happy. And then why, you just messed up my trend of thought now, Chair. You must give me an additional minute. Yeah. I was listening it was very interesting to hear clean burn technology that you are using in coal. And then I also heard hydrogen injection issues around cleaner processing. All of these things, they say one thing to me, that we actually have this capability. Is there a way of using these technologies, the hydrogen and the clean coal and all of that, just to make sure that indeed as we go to a greener South Africa and all of that, but we don't mothball our coal reserves, because I believe we've got over 200 years of ore reserves in terms of coal. So therefore, when I hear clean coal, I hear hydrogen, I get excited. On the safety issues, although it took deep level mining, but I don't hear you dealing with the issues that are really pertinent, like the simple things like earplugs and all of that. What's a technology that is there? A lot of mine workers, they suffer hearing losses in huge amounts and all of that, but I don't hear attention being paid into things like that. Safety issues, for instance, if you've been underground, you see the winch operator is sitting at some corner alone, and when they start to get that scraper going, if you are in there, a lot of people have died underground, because when that scraper starts to go, those ropes, they just rip you up. You've got no chance of survival there. What is being done to improve that kind of safety? And then the zamazamas, can you just give us confidence that the activity of the zamazamas, is there any chance that something can go wrong there? They can just collapse a pillar. Can that maybe induce a level of seismicity that could be dangerous and all that? Lastly, Chair.
No, I gave you